Hello YouTube, this is Games and Stuff here, coming at you with another video. No, I'm not recording myself in the mirror. This is my PlayStation 3D display, and like I said, I'm going to make a review of this display right now. Almost called it a TV. It is not a TV, it does not have a TV tuner in it. But anyway, getting right into the review here, we're going to start right here on the front. As you can see, there's a little notification light. It's a yellowy orange color. That means it is in a quick resume standby state, whereas if you turn it on, it'll load up a little bit faster. And other than that, you can't really see anything else on the display other than the screen. It is 24 inches, full HD 1080p, and on the sides is where the speakers are. And there is a speaker grill here. You can probably hear it, but however, the speakers are only about right there. So as you can see, compared to the whole TV, they're not that big. But they do sound really good. There's one on either side, one over here as well. As you can see me pointing in the reflection, very reflective once again. And I'm not even in a very brightly lit room. We just have this little lamp here's light. Our trusty cat Nibbles sleeping next to it. And of course, just like a normal 60-watt light bulb above me. And it is still this reflective. Anyway, I do like the reflectiveness. I like glossy screens. To me, they don't obscure the picture as much, they don't make it look blurry, but this is a personal preference only. You guys may think completely different, that's perfectly fine. But yeah, I would suggest if you're using this TV, use it in a dark room or at night, because it is very reflective. Hard to keep fingerprints off of it too if you've got people poking at it all the time. And I've been using this with my PlayStation here. This is my gaming setup. I've got PlayStation on and the TV, as well as the two 3D glasses, which we'll get into a little bit later. But I use it mainly with the PlayStation, and it is really good quality. I've also used it as a dual monitor for my laptop, which was also really good. A lot of people say the text is a little blurry or fuzzy around the edges. To me, it looked fine, but I was sitting about like arm's length away. I can't reach the TV, and this is about how far away I sit. And we're going to come around the back now. This is where all your ports are, right here on the right side. You do have your composite in, as well as two HD ports, one of which is being used by the PlayStation. The TV does come with the HD cable, if you've seen it in my unboxing. It is PlayStation branded. And then under that, we'll see if we can get the light good. As you can tell, the HD cord is in the way of everything back here. But there is a 3.5mm headphone jack. I would suggest, if possible, use the built-in speakers, as they are really good. As you can see right over here somewhere, there is the subwoofer. And anyway, getting back to over here, these are the buttons. There's 6 of them, and they are in the back, so they're a little weird to use. But I find if you line up your 4 fingers with the middle 4 buttons, the power's on top. It's really easy to use once you memorize where they are. Also, there is an on-screen menu, which I'll show you. The TV does not come with a remote. However, you can set it to turn on when you turn your PlayStation on. So I'll turn on the PlayStation using the remote. Obviously, there's nothing else in my hands. You can see remote and me recording with my phone here. And you can see the TV turning on along with the PlayStation. You can't really tell with the camera, but it is a gorgeous display. It's still very glossy, even with the screen on. You can still see me here in it, but it is a great color reproduction. The colors look really good. Ignore my background. But anyway, colors look really good. The blacks are really deep in the TV, so you get really high contrast with it. And it does see, the TV does say that it is a 240 Hz TV meant for the 3D, but when you're using it with the PlayStation itself is only a 60 Hz gaming system, so you cannot do the 240 Hz with the PlayStation. So a lot of people were wondering about that. But the 3D on the TV does look really good. I have The Adventures of Tintin here in 3D, which I picked up really cheap, and it is a really good movie. The CG in it's amazing. It's full 1080p, and it just looks amazing on the TV. Especially in 3D, the 3D really pops, and it looks really deep as well. Like there's a lot of depth to it. And talking about the 3D, you have the glasses here. We'll see if we can get some light on them. The glasses are fairly comfortable to use. They're not very heavy. They do have a rechargeable battery, which is really good. The power button for them is in there, as well as the smal view button on the top. And this is where they charge. Unfortunately, they do not use the same cord as the PlayStation controller itself. We'll see if we can get one up here for those of you who don't know. It is a little bigger compared to this one. The button's fairly easy to find too when it's on your face. The only complaint I would have about the glasses is they are a little bit small. Even with me, I don't have that big of a head, and they do feel a little tight after a while. Also, when you have them on, you can see the reflection. You can kind of see the reflection of me recording with my phone again. You can see the reflection of your own face in the glasses. That is one of my complaints. But they still look amazing. But the 3D is not completely perfect. It does have its flaws. I was playing MotorStorm Apocalypse. That is probably the worst part where I've seen it. The backgrounds in MotorStorm Apocalypse. They have a lot of ghosting. For those of you who don't know, ghosting is when you can see kind of blurring from the 3D effect. Also, we were playing smal view, me and a friend, and you can see the ghosting on them at, like, you can see the other player as well. But other than that, the 3D on this display is a great experience, especially if you can pick up the display cheap. I've got it for about 180 bucks plus tax at Best Buy. If you can get it cheap like that, I definitely suggest picking it up. It is well worth that money. And like I said, using it as a PC monitor works great too. It's just a really good all-around display. However, I was using it with my satellite, my HD receiver, and when watching standard definition picture, it does get a little blurry. It doesn't upscale it the best. So I would suggest it, like, definitely play HD if you can. And other than that, like, even with the satellite, I have the HD receiver, so the HD content looked great on it. And as you can see, I have Borderlands 2 here, and I'm just going to boot that up just so you can hear it. Once again, going back to the speakers, they do sound really good for little small speakers on a small screen. I don't know how well you can hear that on with the camera, but it is really clear. And once again, going back to the headphone jack on the back right there, it is not the clearest thing. You do get kind of a zzz in the background very faintly. So if you're going to use a headset, I would highly suggest like a good HD headset or something like the Sony wireless ones. And yeah, another thing too, when you turn the TV on, how you do not need the remote, you can also set it. So I'm going to turn the PlayStation off here. And it takes a few seconds. So the PlayStation is off, and now if we look back at the TV, after a few seconds of no signal, the TV will actually shut itself off. So you don't have to worry about that. You don't really have to get up and mess with all the buttons in the back there unless you want to like turn up the volume or something. And usually I just keep the volume set at about 15, and that's good for me. Also, the 3D is automatic. Most games, if you're playing a 3D game, will ask if you want to play in 3D anyway. But that's my review of the TV. If you have one, and you have something else that you'd like to add in, or you'd like to tell me how you like it, just drop a comment below. If you don't have a TV and you have any, or well, not that you don't have a TV, if you don't have one of these Sony PlayStation displays, I have to stop calling this a TV. If you do not have one of these Sony PlayStation displays and you have any questions about it, feel free to ask them below as well, and I'll try to answer them as best as I can. And I hope you enjoyed my review, being my first review. And there will be more to come. Hopefully I will be reviewing some Sony wireless headsets. And yeah, I might go more in depth with the 3D glasses if I feel like it, or if you guys want to see it. So yeah, just let me know. Thanks for watching.